All right, everybody, welcome back. As you know, it's Champions League week. We got two major matchups coming up: Europa Conference Final. It says Europa League Final on the picture. That's wrong. It's actually Conference League Final, and then of course Champions League Final. We got our two co-hosts today, Chuck and Daniel. What's up, guys?
Yeah,
Yo,
what
what
up,
up?
man?
Hey, man. So I know you guys are probably anticipating this. Especially given that we missed a couple of matchups coming up, but that happened already actually. But I just want to get you guys' thoughts. I guess let's start off like you guys probably watch Europa League final. What do you think? Any shockers there between Tottenham and Man U, or you thought it went the way it was supposed to go?
Bruh, that was one of the worst matches of football I've ever seen in my life, dog. That shit
Bruh.
was a two-pack of ass. Bro, listen. I coach 7 and 8 year olds and and they play better games than that shit. It was terrible.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I did not watch it. But I watched highlights and I was glad. Remember, I was texting you as the game was going on. I was like, hey, yo, props to you, Eddie, man. You endured this so we didn't have to go through it.
Right.
Much respect. Like, bruh, I was looking at the stats. Spurs broke all kinds of records. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo,
One
shout
shot.
out to them. Shout out to them, man. They finally won something. So, you got to give it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we cannot begrudge them of this accomplishment. You know what I mean? Like, well,
Shit. I
unless
can,
you're an
cause
Arsenal
like
fan. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But,
I can because they won it in the most ass way possible. God
but
damn, that match was
to
terrible.
win a championship without a shot on target, like, that's a fascinating record. Come on, man. That got to go in the history books. So basically, they pretty much it's like butt fumbling your way into like a touchdown. You know what I'm
Pretty
saying?
much.
They,
Pretty
like
much.
they,
Nah, that's exactly what it was.
you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Well, what can you like? It had everything we expected when two straight Dookie teams, fumbled their way into a final. Like,
But you're absolutely right about them fumbling their way into it. They got into that final simply based off talent. Like that's it.
I
You
mean,
know what I'm
they
saying? It's
played.
like
I forgot the name of the team Spurs played. What
Bodo
is
Glint, bro.
Glitch. Remember we
Bodo
Bodo
yeah.
motherfucking Glint.
Bodo Glint?
They they played Bodo Glint. Hey, hey,
What a
hey,
trivia
hey, hey.
trivia night
Spurs
question.
Stadium is about like the capacity at Spurs Stadium is what like 5 times that of Bodo Glint,
Yeah.
and I can almost guarantee two players on all of Spurs combined make more than that whole Bodo Glint team, dog. Like they beat them
One
dudes off
player.
talent.
I think
And
You
Son
know what I'm
Sun
saying?
probably.
also remember Bodo Glint's season just began because remember
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Sweden
Exactly.
they're summer league kind of like how Brazil is a summer summer
yeah,
league.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah,
Scandinavian
so
league.
yeah, Scandinavian league. So I mean, shout out to Bodo Glint for even getting that far. To be honest with you, given that they were probably
Oh, no,
just
props.
preseason low key to get that far.
Big
But
props. Big
no,
props. Big props.
well, Chuck, how much of the game did you actually watch?
So I saw first half, and then I was like, yeah, I'm good on this. And then I saw yeah, it was that bad. And then like I saw highlights afterwards, obviously. But yeah, man, it like like if you needed further proof while both those teams were 16th and 17th in the Premier League, you got it right
Yeah.
there. Like that was it right there. Like everything about both those team seasons, you saw it on the pitch.
Yo, if the Premier League had balls, they would have made this relegation battle more entertaining. They should have made it a playoffs, similar to the championship. Like, they have a playoffs, like, between like
You got to win to stay
third,
in.
fourth, fifth, to sixth, or whatever to like get the third spot. They
Yep.
should have made the last relegation spot a playoff.
Got to win to stay in, baby.
I can guarantee you one of Spurs or Man U would have been relegated. Like I would pick Ipswich
They're so bad. They're
over
so
Oh
one
my
of
bad.
them, bro.
gosh,
They're
Like
so
bro,
bad. No, no,
that's
no.
not
Leicester
that's
I
not
take
all
Ipswich.
struggled.
I would have taken Ipswich over Man U. I'm not. I'm not gonna hold you.
Nah, I take Ipswich over Spurs. Like I feel like Man U, like maybe they might fluke their way. Like I don't
Not you
know.
got
Okay.
to remember.
Actually,
You
both
got to
both of
remember.
them terrible. I don't.
Spurs were technically the better team. I don't. I think Man U is very bad. I don't think
They are.
I remember on the prediction show.
They
I
are.
said I like Spurs winning it because I think Spurs just have more talent. I thought, especially offensively, Solanke or Son. I mean, I felt like offensively they had better talent. I mean, I think the last three games in Europa, Harry Maguire was like their second best scorer.
Hmm. Yeah.
So that doesn't
Yeah.
really give me much confidence, right? I knew Man U was going to luck their way to the bottom, or or shit their way up to this finals, but I never thought Man U was going to win. However, I am shocked at how bad the Spurs played, though, because I mean, like you said, one shot on target, and they actually got the goal in, and then it was like everybody fell asleep the entire game. I mean, Man U was so inept and so bad. I felt like I was watching a high school team play against a bunch of grown men, and the grown men were just kind of just letting them do whatever they want because they knew they couldn't score. It was just that bad. And to Chuck's point, I mean, the first half was probably some of the worst football I have ever seen in my life.
She
Oh
was
man,
trash.
yeah. So
It was trash.
I was at work. So usually with games like
Lucky
that,
you.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, lucky you.
I would like come home and if it's worth it, I mean? Like, I look at highlights. I'm like, oh yeah, this is something that I really need to watch. Which, a finals matchup, you really want to like watch it. But bruh. I am a stats nerd, right? So I looked at the highlights. I'm like, bruh, this is the definition of I'd rather watch paint dry.
Mm,
Like, like just the stats. I mean, those teams are like terrible to watch already, but it's like they stepped it up for this finals. It was a showpiece, man.
It was
At least from time
definitely.
to time, like Spurs can be fun to watch. Like I've watched United recently,
Terrible.
and yeah, no, no, no. So it's not that. How do I put this? The perfect way to describe United is you have a coach that has an idea of how he wants his teams to play, and a bunch of players that do not fit that system.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you see these dudes trying to do things they just can't do. You know
Bruh.
what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
like a coach who to me doesn't seem willing to adapt to the players he has now.
yeah, yeah. Let's talk
And,
about this about
and,
next.
and Chuck, just to say this, I don't blame him because I think a lot of those players are not going to be back next year. So he's probably looking at it as what's the point of scheming it up for these guys if I know none of these guys are going to be there. I mean, and they've also are pretty void of talent, especially offensively, which is kind of what we're going to lead into. That's one of their best players actually plays for Real Betis right now, or it used to play for Man United. Anthony, who has completely turned his career around. I mean, Rashford too, until he got injured, was looking like a brand new guy. But yeah, it's like they're void of talent. The best thing going for them, honestly, I think is probably their defense, but they can't score goals. I mean, when Bruno Fernandes is the only player that you can really depend on to score, and
Oh,
he's a midfielder, I don't know what to tell you.
so once we get into it fully, like I hope this ends all conversations about like how great Bruno Fernandes is. Right? Like in his early United days, people were comparing him to KDB, and I'm like, those two players are not the same. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's they
You mean Man U fans?
listen,
Don't
yeah,
say
yeah,
people.
listen,
Like be
listen.
specific. Yeah.
Oh no, sure, sure,
Man
sure.
U fans,
Man,
bro.
you fans were hyping him up like he was a KDB equivalent. I'm
But
like,
everybody else
nah,
had eyes, bro.
mm-mm,
Like
mm-mm,
everybody
mm-mm,
else had
mm-mm.
eyes, bro.
like, like, and like in this game particularly, for someone who's supposed to be Man U's best player and their talisman, he crapped the bed. Like the sequence that led to Spurs' goal, he lost the ball twice in like a 5 second span. Right? He tried to play a pass that wasn't there, lost the ball, regained it, right? And like instead of controlling the tempo, try to do a little flick, lost the ball again. Spurs take the ball
Yeah.
down the other side and score.
Yeah. For their
Right?
only
But
goal of the
but
game and their only shot of the
yeah,
game.
listen, Spurs were historically bad, which makes it even worse that Man U lost to this version of Spurs. And they are going to need to they're going to need to make sure that they are utilizing the talents they already have, right? Not everything needs to be an external solution. Because again, they have good academy players. Kobe Mainu is a fantastic young player. They need to do more to platform him better. Do you know what I mean? They signed like a former Arsenal academy player in center midfield. Um, um,
Harry Ennis, is
Kayvon
that the
Heaven.
guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
they need to help platform guys like that better. You know what I mean? Like give them a shot and understand that. Hey, listen, when playing young players, they're gonna make mistakes. They might lose you a game or two, but we need them to develop to get to where we need to go. Also, not having to worry about a European competition might actually be a blessing in disguise for them because then they can really focus on getting better with their league performances.
That's what I've been saying.
So
That's what I said. Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's a good thing that they're not going to be in European competitions. They can focus on what they have and try to make it work.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's pivot. uh, yeah, I mean, man, I don't even know why we spent that much on Manny. Manny didn't win shit this year.
Nah,
Hey yo, you would think we were Man U fans out
you,
here.
nah,
Right,
listen, fuck
right,
that, bro.
right. All right, so let's go to the European Conference Finals. How do you guys see it? You guys like Chelsea, or you like Real Betis? And speaking of Man U, there's a Man U star on one of these teams, actually.
Exactly. Like Anthony
Listen,
leading
listen,
leading
listen.
Betis to this finals, and it would be crazy if he won something after leaving Man U like
Bro,
midway through the season.
bro,
But
bro, bro.
hey,
That'd be
I am
my
hoping,
I wouldn't
I
say
am hoping
karmic.
and praying.
I wouldn't say karmic because I don't know what went on over there, but Anthony
Mm.
was straight dog shit at Man U, when I watch him play. So I don't know if it was just the system or
It
whatever,
was a
but
system. It
but
was a
like
system, bro.
like he looked like he didn't know how to play. Like, what I'm saying? Like my man couldn't
Well,
be anybody. Like he would
mhm.
miss, what I'm saying, chances. Like I don't know. His confidence was definitely shot.
Oh, no, his
Uh,
confidence was shot.
at
Confidence
Man
was
U.
at
But
an all time low.
he's reclaimed it now. But
Yeah.
going back to like the earlier, the question, I'm gonna go with Chelsea for this,
Mhm.
because I just feel like first Chelsea has a more talented squad, and now that Chelsea has now that Chelsea pretty much they've guaranteed themselves Champions League
Champions League spot.
spot.
Yeah.
So the pressure will be off, right? You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Like this would just be a title for them to win. And Chelsea, they're pretty good at winning European Cups. So I think just historically and because of the current squad makeup, I'm gonna go with Chelsea for this.
So, for that exact reason, I'm actually going to go Real Betis. I think Chelsea has nothing to play for. Absolutely nothing to play for. They are guaranteed a Champions League spot next year, right? This is Conference League. Even if you win Conference League, right? And let's say assume that they didn't have a Champions League spot, you're only guaranteed to get to Europa,
Right.
right? So Chelsea, I just feel like Real Betis has something to prove. They don't win much very often. Matter of fact, I don't really follow them that much. I mean, Chuck, had they won anything ever?
I mean,
Maybe La
you'd
Liga.
have to go pretty far back. You'd have to go pretty far back
Black
to
and
the
white
last time
season.
that the Betis have won a trophy. I think they won a Copa del Rey in like the 2000s or something, but
Okay, okay. But they haven't won
it's been
anything
a while.
European wise. Okay.
No,
Okay.
no, no.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah,
we were probably in diapers the last time they've won
Mm.
anything significant.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, for that case, I mean, I like, I really do like Real. I think they're playing with a lot of passion. I like the Anthony redemption story.
Mhm.
I think they have a lot more to prove than Chelsea. I think Chelsea, Chelsea is the better team. I'm not going to say they're
Mm,
not. I mean, they just have
mm.
way more talent. But I know I think this is a great underdog story. I think nobody thought Real was going to even get this far.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I like them to win. Now, like I said, I do think Chelsea is the better team, but sometimes the best team doesn't always
Yeah. I know. Actually, I mean, I agree with you on that because I do like rooting for the underdog for the most part.
win.
And this year has been the year of the underdog. You know what I'm saying? Like Spurs finally won something.
Finally,
Newcastle finally won something. Crystal
Mhm.
Palace finally won
finally
something.
once. Yep,
I
Chris,
mean,
yep.
it just, you might be right. You know what I'm saying? Like even Napoli,
Harry Kane
kind
finally
of.
won something.
Oh,
oh
yeah.
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that got swept under the rug. You know what I'm saying? The curse has been broken.
The-
And look at that,
oh,
like Harry
oh,
Kane
mumbles,
wins something and Spurs win something at the same time.
right?
I
Listen,
mean,
listen. That's
Two with a
that's
thumb.
crazy. That's crazy work.
oh man, yeah. So I think I agree that Betis is probably going to have more hunger for this. But I think also if you are Enzo Maresca, you see this as like the first sort of major way to like stamp your era with Chelsea. And so he's for sure not going to, you know, like his messaging to that team is not going to be like, well, we've already won, we already qualified for Champions League, everything. No, his message is going to be like, hey, we're in a final, right? This is our chance to sort of stamp to sort of make this the launch pad for our era of Chelsea. Because like this current iteration of Chelsea hasn't really won, right? Like they're still living off of the glory of past teams.
Yeah.
So this would really be like, okay, this is like the beginning of us stepping into an era where like we're challenging for titles consistently. And I think ultimately it's going to be one of those things where Betis are going to try as hard as they can. I just don't know if they can close that talent gap. Right. I think the talent gap is just going to be a little too much for them, um, to close out. And so I'll go with Chelsea on this one.
Do you have any a score prediction? Because I actually have an interesting score prediction.
I haven't even thought about a score. What let me
Yeah,
think.
I haven't, but I'm gonna go with 2-1 to Chelsea.
I think I'll go 3-1 Chelsea.
I think I'm gonna go 3-2 uh Betis. I think it's. I mean, we all both have been scoring, which I think is
Mm,
a must. But I think it's going to be one of those high scoring games. Not like three, no, not like 4-3 or anything like that. But I think 3-2,
hmm
and it's going to come down to a miracle goal by Anthony to win it, or
Hey,
or
listen.
or by everybody's favorite American Johnny Cardoso.
Who?
Johnny Cardoso, the midfielder for. Come on, Chuck.
For Betis, yeah.
The only
Man,
American in any European
look,
final.
yeah, man. Like, yeah, all right, let me stop playing. But yeah, go USA, man.
Yeah, go you.
One day we'll win something.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's
Uh,
crazy.
we'll be alive to
Yeah,
see.
yeah, but no. I mean, you guys are right. I mean, Chelsea has a way better squad. I mean, but you gotta love this story, man. Nobody thought Betis was going to get this far.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. So shout out to them for making it this far. If they do win, I think it'll be like the like biggest upset story of the year. Um, but it's
Bro,
hard for
them
me to
beating,
see them closing that talent gap.
bro, them coming back to beat Fiorentina, I thought was a huge upset.
Oh yeah, nah, that was yeah.
Yeah, that was a good matchup.
That was a great matchup. That was
But you
fun
know
to
what?
watch.
Like, I'm actually not really surprised because I feel like Spanish teams take lower like European cups more seriously. You know, the
True.
likes of obviously Sevilla, who pretty much should have their names engraved on the Europa League.
Europa.
On the Europa League
Yeah,
trophy, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
hell yeah.
Even like Valencia back in the day and stuff like that. They usually play well in like the Europa League or UEFA Cup, whatever it used to be called before. So yeah, no surprises there.
Yeah. All right. Well, it'll be a fun match. That's going to happen tomorrow, so we can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next,
I know
I'm
you've
not
been waiting
even.
for this.
Listen,
I could
listen.
sense the patience in your voice, man.
Listen. I
Like,
got my
hurry
notes
up.
right
I gotta
here.
talk
I
about
mean,
my team.
listen. You guys got what they say. There's moves and then there's counter moves. You guys are going to make your points, and
Mm,
I'm going to make my counter points if that's against
mm,
what I believe is
mm,
going to happen. Um,
mm.
so, Danny, let's go with you first because you actually were the only one that picked Inter to actually make it to the final. Um, I mean that was a ballsy pick, and you were correct. Tell us why you think Inter may or may not win this game.
Like I've been with Team Inter. I was tempted to switch my predictions for the finals, but you know what? I'm gonna ride with Inter. Same thing I predicted before with previous matchups. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
they just know how to like eke out a win. Like, okay, the last game, the last matchup with Barcelona. I mean, that was a crazy match, wasn't it? Like, you know what I mean?
Crazy.
Like, you know
Both
what I'm
of
saying?
them.
Like,
Both of them. Both
Yeah, right,
legs.
right.
I know, like, you know
Listen,
what I'm saying?
listen,
Like both
listen,
legs,
listen. That
like,
is without doubt the best Champions League semifinal I've ever witnessed. If I
Ever.
wasn't a Barca fan, I would have appreciated it a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
oh
Like that
yeah,
shit damn near gave me a heart attack. But
yeah, that was definitely a heart attack inducing game, man.
oh man.
But it was so much fun to watch. You know what I mean? Like Inter was a lot more open than what I'm saying than I anticipated. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like it was a bit uncharacteristic of a Inter or like most Italian teams in
But like I think by and
latter
large,
ages.
Barcelona forced them into that.
But yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna get to. But just the way Barca plays, man, like what I'm saying, like they're just like they're gonna be wide open. They're gonna be open for counterattacks, but they're gonna create so many chances doing that, and they're so much fun to watch. But unfortunately for them, the thing that makes them so exciting to watch ended up being their undoing. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
being so wide open and just being very attack minded. You know what I mean? Like Inter definitely capitalized when they had to. And I do see a bit of that, their Barca style of play with PSG. That's kind of like why I'm leaning a bit more towards. But, PSG does have a lot more control in their
Hmm.
midfield because I've seen, especially like in the matchup against Arsenal. Like there were times what I'm saying, like when it looked like Arsenal was trying to up the tempo and maybe
Yeah.
like snag a goal and make it more competitive. But PSG, like even when they weren't like playing well, they managed to like uh just maintain the tempo. You know, they have a lot of um midfielders, obviously, you know, you got Vitinha, João Neves,
Fabian
Enter.
Ruiz as well.
Yeah,
Let's not
Yeah,
forget
yeah,
that.
even
yeah.
Fabian Ruiz. Yeah.
But why I'm singling out those two because they have something, like Pep from his Barca days used to call, I think it's a pulsar or something like that. Like
Pausa. Yeah.
pulsar, right? They
Yep.
just have that control. They have that way of slowing things down, playing
Hmm.
well in tight spaces and
Yep.
controlling, the game. So they do have it, but I just gonna ride with the underdog for this one. Like you don't necessarily see like Inter, like many times European champion as an underdog. You know what I'm saying? They're historically one of the greatest clubs in Europe. But for this matchup, I think they're considered an underdog by a lot of betting sites and whatever. And
Hmm.
nobody's really, not so many people are really expecting them, but to win. But I'm gonna go with them. I think they're gonna like counter well, and they'll be able to absorb some of the pressure PSG will exert. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with my predictions, but I'm not like this isn't like guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Do not place your bets based on this. I'm going with my heart.
Okay. All right, Chuck. What you got?
um, I it's gonna be closer than I think people think. Um, I think well, Inter are one of those teams where like if necessary, they can make a game very cagey, right? And and that back three system that they use is actually going to it's it's gonna stymie a lot of the things that PSG want to do in forward areas, right? Like because they'll have their wingbacks being able to match up almost directly with you know PSG's wide forwards while also having the support of a center back on each side. And with Dembele basically dropping into midfield, it's he'll either get tracked by like a center back coming off the line or he'll get tracked by whoever like their deepest midfielder is. And so it's going to make it tough, I think, for for PSG to really play the way they want to play. What I'm concerned about, though, with Inter is that they're going to ask a lot from, Marcus Thuram. They're going to ask a lot from Lautaro Martinez, and like also based on how they played against Barca, they'll probably ask a lot out of Denzel Dumfries. Like they'll want him to sort of push on a little bit to join, to sort of support their attacking movements.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if because for me, PSG is a more disciplined, controlling team than Barca was. And so without those spaces to exploit, I don't know how effective those guys will be going forward. Truth be told, like this has the feeling of a game that's going to come down to one goal. Like I think we get a pretty cagey game for the most part, and whoever scores first wins. Like that's it. And so I'm leaning PSG because I think they are the more complete team. But
if PSG scores first, I think they're gonna win anyways.
yeah.
Inter gonna have to like come out of
yeah. Like it's like the formula to beating this PSG team is really to control the ball against them, right? To like deny them the ability to like, stamp their identity on the game. And there were sections of both ties that Arsenal did that fairly well. Just the difference happened in the box, right? The difference happened with PSG being able to put away their chances in a way Arsenal couldn't. And so like I think that's what it's going to come down to again, right? I think Inter have the type of defensive setup that's going to make it tough for PSG to really make inroads. And so the chances that PSG create, they are really going to have to be clinical with them. Like I think this comes down to, PSG creating like one big chance and being able to take it, and then that probably seals the game. I don't see this being as end to end as the Inter Barcelona matchup. Like Luis Enrique is for sure not going to let that happen. So yeah, like it's going to be a cagey final that's probably going to be decided by one goal.
Okay. Yeah. So you're seeing a 1-0 type of game.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, I agree with 98% of what you said, Chuck. The only issue that I have with what you said is I guess the issues that PSG may have in attacking, right? So when I actually went back and I watched a couple of Inter's games in Champions League. I don't really care about what happens in Serie A. And that back line of Bastoni and Acerbi and De Vrij, I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. To me, De Vrij, yeah. To me, they look slow.
Okay. They are relatively slow. I think that's why they've started playing what's his name in that back line instead of De Vrij. What's the name of my guy? Bisek. And so they've replaced Bisek with De Vrij in that back line because he's quicker. You know what I mean? Like he covers more space and things of that nature. And like I can see Bisek playing instead of either De Vrij or Acerbi. No.
Oh, Acerbi. Okay.
Bastoni is their best defender, bar none. So like he's for sure going to play.
But if I remember correctly, De Vrij started the last game against Barcelona.
Oh, did he? Huh.
I believe so.
Yeah, maybe.
But you are probably right that DeVry has been subbed off in like at least their Serie A games.
Yeah.
But again, watching those three, they look slow to me. And so I'm basing my prediction not even really on what Inter can do offensively. I mean, Turam, I thought Turam was the best player on that pitch. The last two games that for Inter in their semifinals, right? And
Yeah.
Martinez, of
Yeah.
course, has been clinical, but Turam made some pass. Like forget his foot, for example. Like forget his scoring abilities. His passing was amazing, right? And of course, I'm
Hmm?
hyping up Inter only to knock them down. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to score against PSG, right? And I really have a hard time seeing Inter scoring a goal. Um, I I I I don't think they're going to play like Barcelona at all.
Mm.
Uh, I think, and again, like I said, well, let me go back to my main point. Pace, I think, is going to be the key to this game. And Inter's back line looks slow. And I think they're going to look even more slower against the likes of either Barcola, Dembele, KVA, or if you have Hakimi and Nuno Mendes bombing forward. Okay? That is going to be problems. And I haven't even mentioned Vitinha Ruiz or Neves. All right. I think if this gets into a game where Inter is pressing forward and there's a chance for a counterattack, they are going to be left eating PSG's dust. And I think that's where the goals are going to come for PSG in this game. You see it being a 1-0 game. Daniel may see it being 2-1. I see it being 3-0. I think PSG is going to devastate Inter.
Mhm.
I don't think Inter is going to score a
Mm.
goal. I do not see them scoring a goal. Donnarumma and we were watching the game together, at least in the first game together, and I said,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
guy, this guy looks like a Ballon d'Or. I've never seen a guy block that many shots. Arsenal, listen, Arsenal may have their issues, but Donnarumma literally made 8 saves that first game. The
Oh yeah,
second
no.
game,
He played some of the best football I've ever seen him play. Yeah.
bruh,
Absolutely.
I'm telling
Absolutely.
you,
He was top
I,
class. He was too top class. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And so I just don't know if Inter's going to score. Maybe they get a goal, but I just don't see them
Hmm.
slowing PSG down. I think PSG
Hmm.
is just fast. I think PSG's hungry. They have this is the final piece to their trouble. I
They need
jokingly say
they need
this
to
is the
win
final,
this, man. No more
they need to
excuses.
they need to win this, but I say this is the final piece to their quadruple because they won EPL this year. Um, So that's where I'm at. I think PSG is going to win. I think it's going to be 3-0. And
Mm.
I'll be shocked if Inter scores more than one goal.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, that's why I'm going 1-0 to Inter. Not even 2-1.
Mm.
You don't see
I don't.
PSG
I
scoring.
don't think PSG.
Mm.
Hold on, the same
No,
Inter
hey,
goals,
man, listen.
and you don't see PSG scoring.
Hey, Mo. What did I say earlier? I'm going my heart. There's no logic to this pick. I'm just riding with it.
Clearly, there's no logic to that pick. But let me also make something clear though, and Chuck, I think we were talking about this last time we met up. Due has been playing out of his mind, and like Desiree Due actually may probably start over Barkley. I'm actually kind of curious to see how
No,
um
he might. No, he might. He might.
yeah
It's
that's
very possible. Yeah.
yeah, Due has been playing very good. He's not as clinical on goal as I think we would like him to be, but he's only like what 19 years old. Like he'll
He'll
Yeah, no,
figure
figure
that
that out.
he's still young.
He'll
He's still
have
young.
time to work on that at City.
Yeah, he's
We'll teach him.
Fuck your shit down.
Listen.
We'll teach him.
I hope I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I hope Enrique keeps playing Due at the expense of Barcola because I need Barcola at Arsenal ASAP. All right.
Oh man.
Listen, man, listen. I gotta be honest with you. I actually didn't. I wasn't really like sold on Due, but he's played really good these last few
Hey,
games. And
remember what was it earlier this season? I was trying to tell you, like, yo, I need that kid at City. You were talking about Barcola, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bruh, Due is the deal,
no,
bruh.
Barkla's been but that's the crazy thing. Barkla's been nasty though. Barkla, I think, was like third on the in all of France in scoring,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. No, he's fantastic.
no, Barkla's having the best season of his
He's
career.
fantastic.
It's
Unless
just
He's
I'm
it's just
mistaken.
the
fantastic.
vision, like you know what I'm saying, that Due has at such a young
Hmm.
age.
Yeah.
Obviously, the skill level, the dribbling,
Hmm.
you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like he's just the perfect. I feel like the perfect left winger for us as well. Like you know what I'm saying, like being able to like play make from the wings. Like
Hmm.
Well, I think we're going to
that's the type
keep.
of play like Pep loves. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and I think we're going to keep him. I don't think you're going to go, but
yeah,
but
I
to
know.
Chuck, I think Barcelo. Hey, listen, Chuck. Talk to Arteta. If you guys want to give us 100 million for
Listen,
Barcola, I
listen,
will not
listen,
turn that down.
listen. There are two players that like if we got either one of them on our left wing, I would be ecstatic. One of them is Nico Williams. The other one is Bradley Barcola. If we got one of those two, touchdown, dog. We in it. So, but yeah, no, this this PSG squad is really talented, like across the board,
They are.
Yeah.
and like they're talented in a way where like they now have you know talented options off the bench,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like
Oh,
if it's
sure.
Due starting, you know what I'm saying, or Barkla starting, or you know what I mean, like it's there is such good depth on that bench now, and like a lot of those guys are young enough that like they'll only get better.
Continuity, bruh. Continuity.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
like, I guess this is kind of like what we've been waiting for PSG to get to. You know, obviously they had a long time with the, their stars era. You know what I mean?
The Galactical era
Right
of
there,
a PSG,
and I feel
right?
like that really
Big
stunted.
three.
You know what I'm saying? Like their long term development, but I think they're in a more sustainable, um, format now.
Yeah,
Um, top down. So it seems like they have different people making decisions. On who to buy and all of that. It's not just splash the cash. You know what I'm saying? Just
Make it rain.
spray and pray. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So hey, shout out to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna feel good to win your first one. And I know how it felt when City finally, you know what I'm saying, like got past
A
that hurdle.
huge
So,
a huge monkey off your
yeah.
shoulder. And listen, it was at the expense of Inter, wasn't it?
yes,
Hmm.
it was.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I really don't see a weakness on PSG. I mean, you could make an argument that maybe their forwards are their weakness, but I mean,
No,
that's to
no,
me.
no,
I
no,
mean,
no. If
but
there
it's
is
not their
any
midfield.
weakness,
It's not their
if there's
midfield,
any weakness,
and it's not their back
the
line.
weakness is probably at center back. Because like I trust Marquinhos, I don't
Marquinhos
trust
can
whoever
hold.
they play next to him. Do you know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like so that's probably like the one like area of like weakness for this PSG team is like, all right, how well is like William Pacho going to continue playing? Do you know what I mean? But beyond that, I think every other part of the team is just stacked. Do you know what I mean? Like I think like Nuno Mendes and Hakimi are like the best fullback pairings in Europe.
yes.
Like like you can't ask for more complete profiles at wingback than those two. Um,
And the best midfield in Europe as well.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's up there with Barcelona's midfield. I put it like that, and like I rate Barcelona's midfield very highly.
Okay. Okay.
But like
We're
it's
better
just as good
defensively.
to
We're,
me.
we're, we're better defensively, in my opinion, than Barcelona's midfield. But I can see
Yeah,
what you're.
yeah, 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 yeah. But no, it's man. Listen, I am looking forward to the match. Like I think we are going to be thoroughly entertained. I don't agree that it's going to be a high scoring affair, but hey, you never know. But like, I think it's going to be one of those matches where like it's very tense all the way through. Um, Inter are going to feel like, man, like we've been in a couple finals, you know what I'm saying, a few years now, like we're due to win one, and PSG are going to feel the same, you know, so
Here's my,
hopefully, fingers crossed, is going to be a good one.
but Chuck, here's my thing. You're going to
Mm,
play a 3-5-2 against PSG, who has
yeah.
one of the. I mean, I don't know what someone's going to do. I mean, they look like a 3-5-2 team, and I may be
No, no,
wrong.
no.
They may
Like
switch it up.
they are definitely going to play a 3-5. Like that's how they play.
I don't think that's going to work against PSG.
I think it's going to be a case of like
With the wingers flying down, all right, give
with
me a back.
PSG, honestly speaking, if you can, because a lot of what they do is they'll stretch you out to create centrally, right? Like they'll pull you
Yeah,
apart and then kind of start finding balls, you know, um um through like the half spaces. But Inter Inter have the type of team setup where they play not only that back three with their wing back, so those guys can tuck in and create a back five, but they have really, really hardworking center midfielders. Like the guys that have no issues tracking their man all the way through to the back line. And
that's
so like I think their mentality is okay. We're going to make this as tough as we possibly can for maybe the first 60 minutes and see if we can, you know, smash and grab something. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, okay.
yeah. Yeah. So that's my thinking of like how they're probably gonna approach this. Because they probably learned their lesson with Barcelona, like, hey, we can't allow this game to be open. Like we barely got away with it with Barca. Had Barcelona held on to the ball better in those last few minutes, they would have won this. So that's probably going to be playing in their mind, like, okay, we can't be open and attacking with these guys. We have to maintain our structure, maintain our position, make it tough for them to break us down, and then hit them on the counter as often as possible.
Yeah, but Chuck, with the 3-5-2, right? And just from
Mm-hmm.
how I've been seeing PSG play, right?
Mm-hmm.
You attack a 3-5-2 with pace and with width, right? And I just don't see how they can stop somebody like Keve or Dembele flying down the flanks. I mean, and even if that, and even if they're able to control that with Hakimi and
Mm-hmm.
Mendes, two very fast wingers, like I just really don't see them doing that.
No, I mean, yeah, it's not going to be easy for them. You know what I mean? But I do think that one, they're going to come into this not conceding any space in behind. And so if you're going to beat them, you have to break them down.
So
Right. And so,
you're not going to sit deeper. They're not going to defend deep.
oh,
They're
yeah,
going to be more.
no, no. They're not pushing up. So they're not going to do a Barcelona where they play a high line. No, like those guys
Okay.
are like their defenders are going to be camped at the edge of their box. They're not going to give you any space in behind. So if you're going to beat them, essentially, one of your guys is going to have to come up with a moment of magic, right? Like it's not going to be like you beat them based on like your pattern of play. Because like they have a defense and a midfield that works very, very hard off the ball. So
Right.
those guys are going to track everyone back. And so like they're basically going to say, all right, cool. This is our block. It's up to you to basically break it down. And if you lose the ball, we have two, you know, center forwards that are great at holding up play, that are great at running channels, and we'll find them every single time. Which which is why my concern about like whoever plays opposite Marquinhos comes into play, right? Because it's like,
Sweet Pacho.
how well is William Pacho going to do against Marcus Thuram? Because that's who's probably going to be on his side. And so, like, if they're finding balls into that channel to Thuram, and let's say like Nuno Mendes has like moved up a bit, and so now Pacho really has to like deal with Thuram 1v1. I don't know. Like, all it takes is for him to make a mistake, and Thuram is in. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, where it's like, I think they're going to try to muck this game up as much as possible and just counter every chance they get.
Well, if they are going to win, Chuck, I do think that is going to be the way.
Yeah.
Because Pacho is, he does make mistakes every now and then. He's probably
I
one
mean,
of our.
he's still young. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a young center back. They all make mistakes.
But he made some mistakes against Arsenal, if you remember.
Oh yeah.
Especially when they called that foul on Saka, which I agree with you was sort of. But yeah, and he had a free space to go to the goal, and they called it back.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Pacho is a guy that will make mistakes. But again, listen, if that's going to be Inter's only way to score. It's going to be on some type of counter fluke play like that.
No, it's probably going to be a counter. Now, maybe set pieces, because I think they have a height advantage as well.
Yeah, they got a height advantage, but I don't. PSG's really good against set pieces, though. So I really don't see them scoring there. But I still just go back to pace.
Sorry, fellas, I gotta drop off, man.
Well, thanks, Danny.
All right, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, dude. All right, man. Be easy.
Take it easy. Yeah, I just think pace is going to be the name of the game, and I think PSG has a lot of it.
What, Saturday at 3?
Saturday at 3. We're all going to be meeting up at I didn't send the text. We're all going to Daniel's house.
I bet. Let me make sure that I am free, because I really would want to come down for that.
It should be at 3. Hopefully, don't do it earlier. Let me see.
Oof. Oh man. Yeah, my the guys at coach, their game is on Saturday, so I might not be able to make it for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
what time is that? What that game?
I coach 2 teams. The 2018 team is playing at 1:45, and the 2017 team is playing at 3.
Oh man!
So like, I'm gonna be on the field while this is going on. Yeah.
Darn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss a good one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but man, listen. I do think ultimately, like, PSG's overall quality will make the difference for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be a good one.
It is, man. It is. Like, I wish I could watch it live, but I'm definitely gonna watch the replay. Yeah, because it's one of those matchups where you have 2 teams that I think kind of counteract each other. And so, like, those are always the best types of matchups, right? It's like, if you have 2 teams that are fairly similar and but with this PSG team and how good they are going forward, and this Inter team and kind of how they can be very kind of wily, and I think they're going to have most of their players back healthy. You know what I mean? And so, like, that should make for a more, engaging game.
Yeah. I think actually everybody should be back healthy.
Everybody should be back healthy. Man. So yeah.
Let me see. I don't. Yeah, I'm looking at the injury. Yeah, looks like. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is the last game of the season.
Last game of the season. Listen, this one here is for all the marbles, man. It's for all the
Yeah,
marbles.
the
Yeah,
Super
man.
Bowl, the Super Bowl of Europe.
The Super Bowl of European football, for sure. Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. But yeah, but yo, it'd be hilarious if PSG like finally win this thing the year after Mbappe leaves.
I know, right?
Cause yeah, that whole era with like him, Messi, Neymar, it's like it was indicative of why like Galactical type teams I don't think um make any sense in modern football now, because like the way teams are structured now, the way everyone presses so well and so intensely,
Mhm.
you can't have, two, three players that don't do really any pressing. Like your team is gonna get killed, and so like the stark difference you see with this PSG team is like everyone is bought into like doing defensive work.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And like you see that across the pitch, and like it's made a world of difference for them. So yeah, no, it's yeah, nah, but man, like I definitely think it's gonna be a good game for sure. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Um, it's definitely going to be good. I mean, I already know it's going to be better than whatever crap that we had to endure for Europa League.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure, though. For sure.
Oh
For
my
hey,
God.
hey. So if PSG wins, right? What does that like? Like, do you think that Dembele then enters into the Ballon d'Or race?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's the odds-on favorite to win it right now.
Mm,
Um, but I think this sort of puts him there. I mean, there's no European matches. I mean, wait, isn't there the nations some crap thing they have probably? So I don't think
yeah, but
there's any
like,
Euro.
but like, nobody weights the Nation League very highly. So
Okay,
I
okay.
guess
So yeah,
that's not gonna have any bearing on like Ballon d'Or voting.
that's what I'm hoping. So yeah, this year
Yeah,
it's going to be mostly league play and Champions League.
and
So
Champions League.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think Dembele for sure.
Mm.
I also kind of like. I mean, they're never going to give it to a kicker, but I mean a goalkeeper. But Donnarumma's having a great season.
Donnarumma was having a great season for sure. Yeah, for
I
sure,
mean, we had
for
to
sure.
go through the gauntlet of EPL teams. You feel me? And he kept them
And he
all at bay.
listen, listen. To his credit, he stood up when he was needed.
Yeah,
Um, especially against Arsenal. Like I
yeah,
both legs too. It wasn't just what he did during that second. Both legs, like the saves he was making.
yeah,
So yeah, no, and like it's unfortunate that Ballon d'Or has become very much like a forward and midfielder award.
yeah. Because they don't even give it to center backs. I mean, because you can also
Nah,
make
nah.
an argument that although Hakimi's not a center back, but Hakimi's
No,
also good
Kimi's
as
a
well.
right back. But no, yeah, they don't even give it to like fullbacks, and
No.
yeah, so it's a bit of a shame because like there are guys that are playing really really well that deserve that recognition. Um, Yeah, but it'll be interesting. I've said it before. Like I am a huge Usman Dembele fan. Like I'm a firm believer in his talent, and I am glad he is finally in a place where he's getting to show the best version of himself consistently. And if he balls out in this game, man, listen, he has to be right in there with your, Rafinhas and your Yamal and your Salahs as like, you know, the top like Ballon d'Or candidates.
Yeah.
Because the way his game has gone to another level, especially the second half of the season, it's it's been really, really, really beautiful to watch. And I hope he stays healthy, and I hope he continues playing well because he he is such he's such an effervescent talent. And it'd be a shame if this period of good form was just like a flash in the pan. So
Well,
yeah.
I think they're onto something. They've unlocked like
Mhm.
his true potential.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
never knew it was Ford. I don't think you ever predicted it was Ford. Um, I mean, we all knew that he had his ups and downs.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
he's figured it out, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Like
am just
he has
ecstatic.
figured it out.
I'm just ecstatic that
Uh,
they've done it. Now, I wanted to, I was going actually wondering if they still did the UEFA's Men's Player of the Year award. I know that
they
a couple of
do like
defensive.
a like UEFA like Champions League award where they'll nominate like the best forward and the best midfielder and the best goalkeeper and stuff like that. And so like those are
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, because I know I think Van Dijk had won the Men's Player of the Year award. Yeah, like the
Mm,
last defender.
like the yeah to have won it. Yeah.
Yeah, probably the only defender, quite frankly. Um, but yeah, defenders and goalkeepers don't win it, which is sad.
Yeah. 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 Like I would like for there to be more of like a I'd like for there to be different awards, right? So like if
Yeah.
we're going like Ballon d'Or and we've sort of decided that that's kind of become a very like forward and midfielder type of thing because those guys are the ones that get like the sexy like scoring and assist numbers.
Yeah.
I'd like for there to be like a dedicated award for like defenders and goalkeepers because
Yeah.
they are just as integral to the game as your, forward and midfield players are. And like there are a lot of really talented like defenders in the game right now that should be, you know, highlighted. Um, but we'll see.
Who's the guy on
Um,
Newcastle? Was it Pope? That their goal
yeah,
kicker, the
the
goalkeeper?
the goalkeeper, yeah, Nick Pope.
Yeah, Pope. I don't know if it was last year. No, I think maybe in the year before last when
Mm,
Newcastle came out of nowhere and had the least amount of losses in Premier League, I think, but they had way too many draws. But
draws, yeah.
yeah, Pope was amazing that year. I think he
Mm,
had like
hmm.
12 or 15 clean sheets. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
and
amazing.
and 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 like their defense was just really solid,
Yeah.
right? Like they were allowing very few shots on goal, and the shots that they did allow, like Pope was, just cleaning them up. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's and it's one of those like guys that have a season like that, but then not have it be acknowledged because they're not a forward player.
No recognition, right? Because like I don't
You know
think
what I'm saying?
anybody won any type of personal awards
Yeah,
on that team.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's man, it's a shame because like I think defending in modern football has gotten even harder,
Yeah.
right? Like the level of attacking talent, like across the board, to me has made it tougher to defend, but also the way teams are now structured, like all the multiple different type of ways teams try to break you down has made defending more complex. There used to be like back in the day where like all you had to do was be really good at like getting the ball out of your box. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was considered great defending. Now, like you have to be able to track guys running in behind. You have to be able to track guys into midfield. Like, so sometimes defenders will come off their line and track you into midfield. You have to be able to be really good on the ball because now teams press so well that like they give you very little time to, build up. Like so like there's so much more asked of defenders now that like I think it'd be really nice to sort of highlight those guys and highlight all the different sort of things defenders do. And the same with goalkeepers. Goalkeepers are becoming more and more involved in the way teams play now, right? Like
Yeah.
they're basically like becoming, an extra outfield player. You know what I mean? Like in certain phases of play.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
yeah.
'cause
So
I think Ederson, leads EPL as far as like assists for a goalkeeper. I think he had like 4 this
yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah. And
Which is incredible,
it's
like
incredible, dog. It's incredible.
yeah,
Like it is incredible. But he is also like just he is as good a ball playing goalkeeper as I have ever seen.
yeah,
Like like you can quibble with how with like his like 1v1s, you can quibble sometimes with his shot stopping, but you put the ball at that guy's feet and like he moves the ball around like a midfielder.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's but yeah, just it'd be nice to have, you know, major awards that recognize, the elite defenders and elite goalkeepers in the world because there are a lot of them and they don't get nearly enough credit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Well,
so
this is gonna be a fun one.
oh for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure. Like
I
like 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 listen, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna have my phone out on the sideline watching, you know what I'm saying?
those kids are gonna get no coaching that day.
Those kids ain't getting no coaching that day, but I'm gonna send them my hey yo, just go have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I don't blame you, man. I mean, this is the most like amazing game this year. I mean, this is it.
Yeah,
It's going to be
yeah.
fun.
I really, really hope so. Because like we were very spoiled by like the Barca Inter semifinals, and even like the Arsenal PSG games were good. So like I hope that is, that is a harbinger of like what this game is going to be like.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm also, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm also looking forward to this Chelsea and Real game, man. I think.
So
I
for me, I haven't watched enough Europa League to be invested. And so it's like, all
Europa
right.
conference. This is conference
Oh
though.
no, sorry, my bad, my bad. I have watched no Europa Conference to be invested.
You you watched one game. No, you didn't because that was actually a Europa League. Yeah, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't watched any of the Conference League games. So this is going to be my first Conference League game I actually watch. I hope it's a decent game. But yeah, no, I hope it's a decent game, and I hope that Real Betis show up. You know what I mean? Like if they show up, I think it's going to be a fun one. If it's a case of just Chelsea coming in and kind of steamrolling them, then
Yeah. Let me see if Real Betis has beaten anybody that's actually good this year. Yeah, I'm actually gonna check. Let me see here. La Liga. We don't count Girona as being a good team anymore, right?
Girona are a decent team, right? At the very least, they were decent last year.
Last
They
year,
actually
yeah.
played quite well. Yeah. they played quite well last year. They've kind of dropped off this year, but it was to be expected after they lost, a couple of players. Like they lost Savio, um, who was like one of their best players last season. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
Betis beat Real Madrid back in March.
Yes, 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 yes. Um,
Um, and they tied with Barcelona in December.
mm, hmm.
Yeah,
Did I watch
they
that game? I don't think I watched that game, but like
beat Atleti too. I mean, they okay.
Betis have been playing well since like the second half of the season. So, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's no surprise that they are where they are in terms of like the conference league. Like, they've turned it up.
they haven't lost a game, at least in La Liga, since January 15th.
Mhm,
When no,
mhm.
January 18th when they lost to Alaves.
Yeah, no, like they've been good. Well, actually, no, I think they recently lost to Atleti.
Oh yes, they did. May 18th,
Yeah, they,
Atleti.
they
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they recently lost to Atleti. But before that loss,
January. Yeah.
they went on a nice little unbeaten run.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ever since Anthony came over, they've been cooking.
man. Listen. Um, I think also like Anthony is one of those where like I think it shows that like different leagues suit different types of players. I don't know if Anthony is a Premier League player, but again, the Premier League demands so much of you physically
Yeah.
that like some guys just aren't at that physical level
He's too
to be
small.
successful.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
small. Yeah.
yeah. But in a league that is more about, your technical capacity, like
And that's
La Liga,
yeah.
I think that works for him.
Yeah.
Um, so hopefully it's something that like Betis can make final, because like I always like, seeing players find the right environments for them to thrive.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think Man U was the right environment for him.
I don't think Man
And
U is the
like
right
it also
environment for
didn't help
anybody.
that, no, you're right. It hasn't been the right environment for anybody in a while, because like also like look at, Lukaku and McTominay that like Man U
Yeah.
basically, shipped out for next to nothing. They go to Italy and like win titles. So, it comes back to just making sure that as a team you're recruiting the right players for the league that you play in, right? Like you're prioritizing the right attributes, and you're hiring coaches that are going to platform the players you have, you know. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should come back on after the final to sort of do like a quick little recap.
Recap. Yeah.
But then also like I think like it'd be really fun to come back sort of like towards the end of the summer to do like a sort of um transfer news wrap up, but then also like a preview for like the upcoming season.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like see,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, a preview. Yeah,
yeah.
that would actually be, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like that.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
yeah.
cool.
Nah,
I'm
man, it'd
def
be,
I'm
it'd be, it'd be
definitely up for
cool.
that.
Yeah, nah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool. It'd be cool. So yeah, like next week for sure, get back on, talk about the Conference League, talk about Champions League finals. You know what I mean? And then, hopefully both games are sufficiently exciting enough that we can, really like delve into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Well, it's
All right,
been
my boy.
real.
Oh, for sure, man. Like definitely been a nice conversation with y'all. And looking forward to both the games, and I hope they are both good games to watch. You know what I
I
mean?
hope so.
Because yeah.
All right, man. Well, take it easy. We'll talk in between these games.
All right, man, for sure.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, peace.